Man City versus Arsenal finished in a 0-0, and let's be honest, this game was an absolute snooze fest. Around the 75th minute, I fell asleep, and I must have thought I've been asleep for an hour. But when I woke up, only about 4 or 5 minutes had passed. The game was that boring. There were 8 center backs on the pitch. I don't remember ever watching a Premier League game, especially a game of this quality with 8 center backs on the pitch. I don't remember anyone. I think the message at the beginning of the game from both managers was absolutely clear. If you cannot win, do not lose. Because Liverpool, they had done their job. They beat Brighton at Anfield. Whichever manager lost this game, in my opinion, was out of the title race. I don't think there's any coming back from that. Before the game started, I was watching YouTube, a lot of scoreline predictions. And I thought a lot of people were kind of disrespecting Man City. A lot of people were just thinking that Arsenal, yes, they've had this spell where they've blown teams away 5-0, 6-0, the likes of Sheffield, West Ham and all these teams. Yeah, a weakened Liverpool side as well included. So I get it. But there is a difference between beating all these teams 5-6-0 and going to the Etihad and beating Man City at the Etihad. But luckily for Arsenal fans, Arteta is not on the crack. Some of these guys are on. And I thought he did the right thing going to the Etihad. Be pragmatic. You can call it packing the bus. Because look, if Arsenal lost this game, you have to say they probably were going to be out of the title race. So it was a smart move by Mikel Arteta. You have to say this guy, he's really, really grown as a manager. It's a learning process. And you have to say that's exactly what Arteta is doing right now. Honestly, there's not a lot to talk about this game because in terms of creating chances, not a lot happened. But there are certain individuals I would like to talk about. Saliba, Gabriel, what more can I say? It's probably the best centre-back pairing in the Premier League, at least statistically. I think they are fantastic. They were absolutely fantastic today. Gabriel in particular, I think he took it personal against Haaland. He used his experience and all kinds of dirty tricks. Even if he meant pulling his shirt, he used all of that to stop Haaland. This is what the great Italian centre-backs, the Maldinis, they did this for decades. And look, Gabriel was clearly watching these guys when he was a kid. Was Gabriel even born when these guys were playing? I don't think so, but yeah. But I thought Gabriel was fantastic. Saliba as well. Declan Rice, he did his thing in midfield. I thought he was good. I would like to talk about Jeremy Doku because I think this guy is a complete waste of space. Look, I know at the beginning of this season, there was this game where I think he had 5 assists, something like that, and everyone was hyping him up. And I was out there saying, look, this guy is shit. I'm not the kind of person who gets impressed because a player played so well in one game. I want to see you play well over 10, 15, 20 games before I make my decision on you. And Doku, I don't think he's Manchester City quality. I'm telling you, this summer transfer window, mark my words, Man City will go out there and they'll sign a new winger to replace Doku. I'm telling you, when Man City signed him, Guardiola must have been thinking that he is getting a Mahrez replacement, and he is nowhere near that. Guardiola must be looking at his scouts and his data analysts and be asking them, what exactly did your data model pick or see in this guy? Because he's just not it. Look, Doku, he has a God-given talent, that ability to beat a player or beat a fullback. I think is probably the best in the Premier League. He's fantastic at doing it. If I were to give it a number, I'll probably give it an 85 to a 90 on 100, which for me I think is elite. But his ability to be in the right position, put his head up and pick the right pass, I think it's championship level at best. Look, if I were to give it a number, I'll probably give it a 20 on 100. This guy is never going to be Man City quality. Some of you will say, oh, he's a young man, he's going to get better. And I agree with you. He's gonna get better. But I just think that the amount of work he needs to do to get to that level is so huge that Man City, a team that has ambitions, is not gonna have the patience to wait for him to get there. I don't think he's ever gonna be successful at Man City. I'm not gonna lie. I don't rate him, to be honest. Haaland, he struggled, These are the kind of games where I think Haaland tend to struggle because Man City basically created nothing for him. That is because Arsenal did a wonderful job at just stifling Manchester City. Arsenal have actually a lot of Sky Sports and even Talk Sport and all these pundits. They've been kind of insulting Arsenal that they were too pragmatic. They packed the bus. Say Alex Ferguson used to do it back in the day when say Alex Ferguson was at his prime. Liverpool were nowhere near as good. They were not even a good team. And say Alex Ferguson, sometimes he will come to Anfield and even against Chelsea and Arsenal, and he'll be a bit more pragmatic. Guardiola sometimes when he plays against Liverpool, especially at Anfield, he's very, very pragmatic. So I don't know why people have a problem with Arteta being pragmatic against Man City. It's the right thing to do. Only Klopp is crazy enough to go to the Etihad, play 2 flying fullbacks, and just doesn't care. But then that's why I love Klopp. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care, to be honest. But you have to say advantage Liverpool. I think the title race is now in Liverpool's hands. Liverpool, for me, are the clear favorites now. I think they'll win it. They just have to go out there, win the rest of their games, keep a cool head. They have that experience. They've done it before. It's a really, really interesting title race, and we're just going to have to see how everything comes together at the end. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.